Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Lam here. In today's crypto vlog, I want to talk about the top 3 cryptocurrencies that I'm currently tracking for 2021 because I'm starting to really get set up and I can kind of tell you the methodologies that I'm going to be using throughout this year investing into different types of cryptocurrencies. So let's go ahead and get right into it. As you can see right now on my Coinbase account, we're currently in the middle of a downtrend, but overall we're still up because, this year has been really great for new money coming into the market. So it's just one of those things where it is going to be a bit choppy, but that also creates a lot of opportunities. And I definitely have been taking advantage of them. One of the things that I've been trying out for quite a while now, and I've gotten set up to the point where I can actually talk about it, is I do have an investment strategy that I am using for this account. And it's going to be outside of the top 3 holdings that I have, which is basically the cryptocurrencies that actually returns interest. If you watch the previous vlogs, you know that I do like holding in those because they do return interest on a consistent basis. But outside of those 3 major holdings, how do I invest my money? Which ones do I invest money in? And I can kind of show you that right now because one of my favorite ones to hold right now is a cryptocurrency called AAVE. And if I go in here, I can show you kind of the pattern that I've been using. And this is kind of what I call the doubling pattern, which if you look at December 18th, I invested $10 into it. And what I did is I actually waited for it to double in price before I invest the next $10. So on December 15th, I invested $10. When it got to $20 for that holdings, I go ahead and I invest another $10 and then I wait for it to go to $40, and it's been working ever since throughout this whole process. So you can notice that I've been slowly building up money going into AAVE as it continues to go up in price. Now, if you're a long-time investors, one of the things that you'll probably point out very quickly is that every single time it gets to a doubling of the money, so if I invest $10 and when it hits $20, I will invest another $10. I'm basically investing at the peak of its price, which is something that people normally don't do. But I do believe 2021 is going to be a terrific growth year. I think there is going to be a lot of fresh money coming into cryptocurrencies. So my investment strategy definitely follows what I think. So it's going to be a very aggressive investment strategy. So for AAVE, it's been working out really well. If you count it up, so it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, $90 currently in with a target of 180. It's currently now sitting at around 160, so it's dropped down a little bit, but I still have a lot of buffer room. And eventually I think AAVE will reach the $180 target, in which case I will be putting another $10 in, waiting for it to go to 200. Now, you might be wondering if AAVE is just a special case, and I'm just going to go ahead and go down the list of all of the cryptocurrencies to show you where it's at using this investment strategy. So if we look at Uniswap right here, which is probably the second one that I'd be looking out for, I currently have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60. So $60 with a target of 120. So with a target of 120, it's definitely got $20 to go. So it has pulled back a little bit, but again, I still have plenty of buffer room. If you go down a little bit more, you have Synthetic and Loopring. With these two, I have invested $40 in, and I'm looking for a target price of $80 before investing the next amount. The next bracket down, which is basically Graph and Maker, I have a target of $60. So Graph right now is very close, so I'll be monitoring that. If it hits 60, I'll go ahead and I'll bump it up to 70 with a target of $80, and it'll basically join this bracket right up here. And then the next bracket down, this is probably the largest bracket, or maybe the second largest bracket, but this is the target of $40, and I have $20 invested in all of these. So basically from Compound all the way up to Zcash, these are all of my $20 invested in, and I'm looking for a target of $40. Zcash right now is definitely my closest one to where I might actually lose money. So I have $20 invested, but it's only up $1.21. So as you can see, while this investment strategy, it is very aggressive and you do have to put money in when the coins are actually expensive, overall, because of how much growth there is in the market, it's actually doing very well for itself. My last bracket, this is the bracket where I've only invested $10 in, and it hasn't reached the point where I invested the next $10, and it is a fairly big bracket. But because of this investment strategy, I know which cryptocurrencies are moving fast. I know which ones to keep an eye on and which ones I actually might want to increase the amount of investment per target. Like for example, AAVE, instead of putting in $10, I might eventually start putting in $20 every single time and just upping my target, because when you put $10 in, you do actually pay quite a lot in transaction fees, so you're losing a lot out. But right now I really don't have enough cash on hand to really move up my investment targets, because if you look at DAI, which is where I like to keep my cash, I actually invested in $200. Let me find that one really quickly. So right here, I invested in $200. And as you can go up, I did invest $100 into Cosmo because I did want a stronger position in that. But as I move up all of these transactions, all of these were $10 transactions that I was actually putting into each coin because they were all moving up very quickly. The last 2 weeks in January, you just saw a lot of new money come in. It was a bit choppy. In other words, it was going up and down quite a lot, but a lot of coins actually made a lot of good growth. And I've been trying to keep up with that with just $10 investments. And honestly, with how little cash that I have on hand, $10 is really all I want to do per cryptocurrency until I actually build up more of a cash reserve. Which leads me into the next thing that I do want to talk about. So for January, I did actually put in some new money. I put in roughly about $300 and I burned through that pretty quickly. So I put $100 into Cosmo, which is one of the top 3 holdings that I do want a better position in. But the rest of the money, which is almost $200, went into other cryptocurrencies that has been growing for the last 2 weeks, and I've just been keeping up with that. And what that has done is that it really has given me a really good pictures on which cryptocurrencies that I do want to talk about for this vlog, because they have been growing very strongly. So a lot of these cryptocurrencies that have been growing strong, so AAVE, Uniswap, and the synthetic tokens Loopring, they're all liquidity pool cryptocurrencies, and these are very interesting cryptocurrencies because they're kind of replacing the banking layer within the cryptocurrency ecosystem. It's something that you really want to dive into if you want to understand how the banking layer, I'm just calling it the banking layer, so it's just a term that I like to use to try to explain to people what a liquidity pool is, but they do some really interesting things there, and it's definitely something to dive into because a lot of people think that most of these cryptocurrencies have nothing backing them, and that's not necessarily true. A lot of these cryptocurrencies offer services that help fundamentally drive how the ecosystem for decentralized currencies actually work and formulate really a nice foundation for how cryptocurrencies can continue to grow and really kind of expand out for everybody to use. Although I do want to point out that it is kind of silly that I could say, for example, Kirby Network, I put $10 in, it's at $16. It has grown 60% in January, but that's still not enough growth to where I want to pay attention to that cryptocurrency. That's pretty insane, considering that in the investment market, in other words, the stock exchange, if there is an investment to where I know that I can get about a 6 to 10% growth, I would gladly make that trade. But in the crypto market, I'm waiting for a 100% return on investment before I make the next commitment into investing more money into that currency. That's just how fast the cryptocurrency market is growing and how much new money is coming into the market. It's the reason why in 2021 I started the vlog, and I really want to talk about it because there is a lot of opportunities here. It is still very speculative. Definitely don't invest any money that's going towards your retirement or your savings, but if you do have some free cash flow, definitely look at the cryptocurrency market because there is a lot of opportunities here, and there are definitely strategies that you can put in place to really help you figure out which ones you want to invest in. For myself, I'm particularly aggressive when it comes to this account, but that's something that I'm very comfortable with because, again, this is not money that I depend on, and this is money that I can kind of vlog about, talk about, and kind of show you how quickly the growth has been year over year, month over month, day over day. So that's all I have to talk about for this vlog. Hopefully you have found it interesting. Definitely let me know what you think below, and I'll see you in the next video.